Hello, my peeps. Yes, hello, my peeps. It's Megan Jarrett worked. Just waiting on some comments. We're gonna try our little backup plan again. It is Tracey, the paper pusher, and independent Stampin' Demonstrator. I usually say that the other way around. It sounds better the other way around. Um, it is. Where's my calendar? I just typed the date. What did I just type? 20th. Did I type the right date? I wonder. It's the 20th of August. This summer has absolutely flown by. Like just unbelievably quick. Part of it was my son did an extra class. There we go. In summer school in July. This summer. Sorry, just a minute. In for July, he did extra class at summer school. See, my things aren't showing up there again. So yeah, so that was it. That made the summer feel like it was half the length that it really was. Excuse me. I've been rushing around today, and apparently the second I need to not be coughing, I'm coughing. Yes, if you saw the thing, the follow up to my live last week, I did my live, did the whole thing. I have stuff everywhere, right? And somehow I went to reach for my tea afterwards, and I didn't knock my tea backwards. I knocked my tea. I don't know what I did. Somehow maybe I hit some. It went to afterwards. It was like an accident when they say what happened. And you're like, I don't know. It all happened so fast, and it was so just like regular cup. So this is full. We're talking maybe 3/4 of a cup or so. It was never ending, and it went anywhere there was paper or electronics. That was the goal. It was just, oh my goodness, it was unbelievable. There was so yes, and I yelled, and the dog jumped up, and my son jumped up, and paper towel, he ran and grabbed, and I couldn't move out of my chair because everything, it was everywhere, like on the floor, anyways. But that doesn't stop me, because I know if I get a tickle or a cough in my throat, I need to have something to drink. Yes, a sealable water drink or water bottle. Sure, that makes sense. That's not my drink. My drink is tea. So, yeah, I've got piles of cards everywhere here. Yeah, let's get started. Then we'll have time to make the card. I have a couple of variations, so I'm going to show you. I'm just going to find my button that lets me change my camera to the right view. And with any luck, I think I'm okay. I think I knocked my camera. This one here. You know, I'll leave well enough alone. So I did, seriously, I can't, all of a sudden, I did put out a schedule to begin with. And then I had to make some updates. So my little teaser, my little reminder for tonight, I said I have good news and I have bad news. Well, let's do the bad news first. The bad news is the haunted house Kit Together, haunted home it's called, or was called, Kit Together, is canceled. Why is it canceled? Because people loved that kit. So Stampin' Up does test, like when they do stuff, especially if they're going to try something new. And I don't know, home decor pieces, there's been some frames and the wreath and the magnet board. They were all kind of, hang on the wall type stuff, I guess. I'm trying to think what other home decor ones I can think of. So I think when they tested this, people were like, yeah, and then they released it, and people just, whoa. So this sold out. So they've ordered another batch, but given the nature of kits and shipping and who knows what the reasons, it won't be until November. So I can't I can't get any more kits till November. And given that, unless you guys want to be super proactive for next year, this kit is going to come back in November, but it will still be around for Halloween of 2025. So you could always try again, buy one to put at home as soon as they come in. But as far as classes go, I've had to cancel the haunted home part of it. And we're just going to go old school, oldish school. I started this last year. And instead of doing that, find my little pieces of paper, we're going to do some kits. So this is, it's meant to be, easy peasy crafted. So we're going to try Saturday morning. That's the other bad news. My evenings, the one place was opening special for me. Nourish was opening special for me in the evenings. And she's not able to do that right now. Her business is doing all sorts of good things, and it just doesn't work. So I'm going to try some Saturday morning ones. Same place, Nourish, same delicious smoothies. Plus, she's got espressos and sandwiches. She's building the menu, and adding a bunch of stuff. And she bakes. She's a baker by trade, and oh my goodness, she makes good stuff. So there's just more and more options are coming. So we're going to try for a Saturday morning instead. I hope it will work. It's fun. As it turns out, though, now let's get to the good news. The good news is, yay, I found ways for us to stamp together. But here's some more good news. These are some of the cards. So this is fun. If you want like kits, but you want to still have a variety of cards, this is a great way to do it. Because you can do 3 if you're fast enough and you want to, pay an extra $10 and do an extra 3 cards. Then you can walk away with 6. But some of the kits I have, I only have 1 card out of each kit. But isn't that like one of the most gorgeous cards? This kit currently sold out. This kit currently sold out. This kit was sold out, and I think it might have just come back. But for some reason, I think it's on low inventory now. So we have this plus the birthday kit, which, oh my goodness, it's got some great cards. The paper pumpkin one. I haven't done the video yet, but I happened to get the kit when I was talking to my friend, and it was in front of me, and I opened it, because just curious, and then I started to like pop the little die cuts out, and then I started to imagine with it, and then I had to stop myself. So I never did quite get it put together, but I did snoop a fair bit. So I can tell you, it's an awesome kit. But yeah, we come down, we make the kits, we have a snack, and we enjoy ourselves. So that's what we're doing instead. And I still have plans for 2 other kit togethers, but we have to, as soon as I know which kit, like I can tell you, I just want to move some papers out of my way here. So I can tell you that on the 26th of October, oops, that's the right one, and on the 23rd of November, I've got kit togethers booked. And I think the first one's going to be Christmas ornaments, and the second one is going to be Christmas cards. Might do ornaments and tags, Christmas cards. Might do them in the other order, depending how the kits get released. I know there's an ornament kit coming out. We've already got the one Christmas card kit, which is too far for me to reach. And those cards, so nice. They have like such great insides. So the ideal is for these ones, you order a whole kit. So that one had, I want to say 8 cards in it. I think it's 4 each of 2 designs, and they are fantastic cards. So you order your kit, we get together, we do it. It would be the same with the ornaments and the Christmas tags. But as soon as like I announce these, and I'm waiting to see if there's going to be more Christmas card kit options, you got to jump on them, because I don't want to buy a whole bunch of kits if nobody's going to use them. But if I don't buy a whole bunch of kits and they sell out, then we can't do it. So if you're considering these, I need to save the dates. And I'll post this one after my live. I'll post it again. But yeah, you need to save the dates so that you're ready. And then just, watch my newsletter or Facebook. I haven't figured out a way to like post announcements on YouTube, but Facebook or newsletter is always the best. As soon as those ones launch, and then hopefully we won't run into the same issue. Now, other than kits, I like to make cards. I like to make cards. So first up, and this one it's due tomorrow. RSVP is tomorrow, but honestly, at this point, I'm probably pushing it to get the stuff here in time. But as long as I get an answer like Wednesday, Thursday, so that I can get the order in Friday if I have to order any more stuff, we should be good. I've already got a few people, but I think I have 2 seats left for this one. So this is also the open house. So I'm going to have all of the stuff I bought from the Christmas holiday catalog. It's not called the Christmas catalog, holiday catalog, the mini. Plus borrow some stuff from my friend of things I didn't buy, so you can see as much as possible. Hello, Heather from Ottawa, one of my favorite cities. So yeah, we're gonna excuse me, there goes my voice again. So we're gonna have lots of stuff to look at. We got a few little freebies for you guys. We're gonna have some snacks, and then so that's one option. And then if you want to make cards, I always do. It's always holiday head start. So I cut that off. That we do so that if you need any early Christmas cards, and you'll see why when I show you the next bunch. So if you need any early Christmas cards, you can get them done early in September, and then they're ready to go. I know I have friends who send stuff to Ottawa, or not Ottawa, sorry, Ontario. I had Ottawa on the brain. Or overseas or to the States, and it can take forever. So getting your packages and your parcels and getting all your cards ready so that they can go in like October or November is what some people have to do. So that's what we're doing. So these are the, I'm going to show you two bunches. So these are the cards we're making at the Holiday Head Start on the 7th of September. And I will, because I want you guys to be able to snack and look at the other stuff, I will tell you that I have prepped a whole bunch for these cards. So these cards are going to be fun to make, and I did most of the work. Sorry, there's just something, oh, not quite sure why, but there's a little piece of plastic in that one card. Darn, and I forgot again to look up the lady's name that I got the whole Pussy Willow Christmas lights idea from. So these are the 4 cards that we're making. I've already cut out all the birds. I've cut out the DSP. I've cut out a whole bunch of things so that you can either color birds or use the DSP birds, depending what you like. And so, yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to have snacks. Now, I will tell you, this bundle is called Winterly Treetops. And yes, I made all those Christmas cards. And once I started making them, I'm like, you know what? I had one other card. I'll show you the other Christmas card I had made. I had made this one, but the other cards were all cherry cobbler or pool party. And this one stuck out like a sore thumb. So I was like, I couldn't stop making them. So I just made another one of that color. So they kind of go together because they look nice like that. But there's so many options. And this one, so this was when we did a Stampin' Up event. And then so that I just kind of made, like, this is really just a different version of that one. This one is kind of a slightly different version. I was trying to go for like different themes in fall, and then this is just, you know, a card kind of thing. So they don't all have to be Christmas cards. You can make lots of fun stuff with this bundle. It just so happens that we're using it on the 7th to make Christmas cards. So yeah, let me know tomorrow or what I'd say Thursday. Sometimes I forget what day of the week it is. I usually get a reminder from our chiropractor the day before our appointment. And I had looked on Sunday. I'm like, this time I'm going to look. I got a full week going. I'm going to look what's going on. And I knew it was Thursday. So then we got the reminder today. And so I thought, is it Wednesday? We only ever get them the day before. No, it's not Wednesday. It's Tuesday. And the whole thing. And so all day long, I've been trying to like wrap my brain around. It is Tuesday. Tomorrow we have to go to my son's school to settle it, like fix a mistake in his class schedule, which you can only do in person. Then we have the chiropractor. Then we have, like, it's just a full week of things. But that one little set me off thing, I can't keep things straight now. Okay, so I did say that I would have all of the samples made by the weekend, and I am humming along on that. But I was having so much fun with these cards. I did post some pictures. If you saw them on Facebook, I did post some pictures because I was asking if you liked, like, which versions of these you liked. And then I realized afterwards that I posted the pic, like when I first made them, I thought, oh, I forgot the gold leaves. So the pictures I posted, which got lots of interest, thank you very much. I didn't even have the gold leaves in them because look at how much, the gold leaves just jazz them up a little bit. And these are in the new catalog. Actually, 2 things are in the new catalog. I forgot what these were called already. Woven gold leaves and the faux glass dots. I mean, these just scream fall to me. But you get a ton of these leaves. Right? And they're like little gold mesh. They're hard to see on camera, but they are amazing. But they give it just that little bit extra. So I think because there was lots of votes, I had a third card in there too. But I was trying to go with the fall colors. This is one of the cards we're making in October, but I think I'm going to have both versions because people kind of liked both versions of it. So that's one of the cards. This is the other card, which, okay, first off, the DSP does most of the work. And then this stamp set, and a little bit of simple coloring. Look how pretty that tree is. Oh, love it. This one, again, there's going to be options. I don't know that I showed. I think I showed my apple pie. Here's my apple pie. I cut a bunch of tiny little pieces to make and colored it so that it looked like apple pie. And then we also had the pumpkin spice. So this one's going to be the same. I think I'm just going to pre-cut a bunch of different shapes, and then you like these, or different shapes, different words, and then you guys can choose if you want apples or pumpkins. I did pull out my old retired punch because I wanted to do like a circle or something, and it wasn't working for me. So I ended up with a different shape. And then I love this card. And I realize some people are like, I don't give Halloween cards. But honestly, well, first off, I know 3 people who have birthdays on Halloween. Like, what are the odds? But I know 3. So one of them is actually turning 100 years old this Halloween. They had her party in the summer, so I already made her card. I think I've made her, it's a friend of my mom's, and I think I've made her a Halloween birthday card for, my son is 16, probably, I want to say 14 years in a row. So every year I have to come up with a witch themed card. And she like self-identifies as a Halloween witch. So we're not being mean to her. And then, yeah, 2 other people I know also born on Halloween. So these could easily be birthday cards or just fun cards. But look at this card. Absolutely love it. Love this set. I bought it for this big die because, I just absolutely love it. So those are the cards we're making in October. So 2 of them, there's like a card, and then the other ones you got a little bit of variety for. It looks like 6 cards, but the way I prep the boxes, there'll be options, so you can kind of have some picks. So that's the 5th. I actually don't think I have posted this poster or the link yet, so I will do that after. So we have that one, and then like I said, there's many more coming. There's no Thursday nights. We do have Wednesday nights. That's the one I'm working on right now. We do have Wednesday nights. That's my little purple stars. So we're doing those ones, and we're making all 4 Christmas cards. That's the whole goal, is to start getting everybody ready for Christmas. So we're making those ones. I did not. So yeah, I will keep samples posting. There's a couple Christmas ones in December, and then as soon as November, and then as soon as I know about which kits are which. So the next kit we'll know about, that's the 31st, 1, 2, 3, 4. Either on the 3rd or 4th of September, we'll know what the next 2 kits are. And once we know what those 2 kits are, to extrapolate to a certain point what the October kits are going to be, because we've seen a little bit of a preview in the catalogs. I forgot about the catalogs. I don't actually know where mine is right now. I'd like to have a prop, but I don't know. Okay, so here's the deal with the catalogs. And here's what we're going to do next. Here's a start planning. If you live in Morinville, yay Morinville, I dropped your catalog off. Well, my son dropped your catalog on your front porch on Saturday. And I keep meaning to send an email or like a little text and let people know that. But I've had a couple of people tell me they found them. So I told them, whatever you do, don't put them anywhere they'll step on them, because they are in like cellophane. So they're just like beside the front doors. So yes, if you live in Morinville, bonus was they got dropped on your front porch. If you don't live in Morinville, I had a handful of people outside of Morinville that I also sent catalogs to. They got popped in the mail. Super busy right now. My knee is, I don't know, can I say buggered on YouTube? And so I'm trying to limit, I'm trying to be smarter. So yes, pop them in the mail. And so I'm curious to know when you start getting your catalogs when they came, because I've never sent the catalogs in the mail before, so I don't know how long they take. But most letters not like local, a couple days. So I'm assuming that's the same case. Okay, catalogs, changes. I showed you some samples. Need a little sip of tea. Who wants to make a card? Here. Does this card look familiar? I'll hold that up while I drink another sip of tea. Okay, that one I just about totally missed the desk. That would have been bad. Okay, I don't actually know when this card is from. I'm going to go with it's either 2 or 3 Christmases ago, based on the paper. And this Peace and Joy set. This was oh, I love this set, special release. Anyways, I love this card. And this card, I have like a bunch of samples of cards. And sometimes if I need to make a card, see, 2 of the cards coming up are actually ones that I have, and I'm like, oh my God, I love that fold or that style, that layout. I'm trying to see if I can find any other ones that I've made recently, but I can't. And you just remake them with different colors, different patterns, different stamps, different something. So I love this card. And I think it's just, sorry, I'm sliding off my chair. I think it's just like a patchwork card. I don't even know. This has been my biggest challenge lately, is every time I go to make a card, I have to try to figure out what the fold is, if it's a special fold. And in some cases, like, I don't know who first came up with this. It's a great way to use scraps. I don't know whose layout it was in measurements. And at a certain point, unless I see like a new card come out and I start making a note of it, I'm never going to remember all those. I love that people share, and I would love to give credit to it, but honestly, no idea. And then some of them, I can find the name, and I'm going to start putting like a picture of the card and the name beside it with the measurements so that I can remember names as well. Some of them, it's just really hard to trace back to who was the first person who ever made it. But this card is super easy. And you see this is rare for me, I will tell you. There's no layers. There's barely a die cut. Like, there's one die cut. These were some old retired gems. I still have a few of them left. I love them. But the whole idea was simple, right? I bought some, I don't know what I did with it. Oh, there it is right in front of me. So I bought some, I bought a lot of things from the catalog, but I bought some of the papers for like a couple different suites. Yeah, I think there was 2 of them, where I didn't buy the stamp sets or the dies. I usually buy the embellishments. I quite like the embellishments, but so this is one of them. It's got a great stamp set and a great set of dies, but it's too similar to other stuff I have, and I wasn't doing a class with it. But I quite like the paper, especially this pattern, because plaid. So I have this pack of paper. Now what do I do with it? So yes, look at all the little, you always end up with these bits and pieces and scraps, right? So this is the perfect way to do it. And I can show you that you don't actually need to have stamp sets and dies to go with it. I did use a different one. What did I do? I used, for the one I'm using, I did use the dies and the Merry Christmas from this reindeer one, which is a whole different class, but I will tell you, oh, you have to have this. Oh, you know what I forgot to tell you? Speaking of reindeer fun. Sorry, I digress. Let me go back before I forget. On the 4th of September, when the mini goes live, it's also when Stampin' Up! Is going to release its first bunch of scrapbooking stuff. So I know if you were following, I posted yesterday, when Close to My Heart first came over, Stampin' Up! Picked up a bunch of their stuff. It was only available to the Close to My Heart makers and customers. I can't remember. That happened in like April, I think. So Close to My Heart had said it because there was limited supplies and they wanted to take care of like their folks. If you hadn't already signed up and had like an email address, user account for Close to My Heart before, let's go with the 1st of May, whatever date it was, you couldn't buy their stuff. They weren't bringing in new people to stock up, and they were trying to get all of their current customers, because when the owner decided that she was done and she was going to step down and close the company for health reasons, I think it was all like fairly quick. So she was trying to take care of the people. So then so they've had like a couple months of exclusively being able to buy those products. And then this morning as it turned out, now anybody can buy what's left of the Close to My Heart inventory through the Stampin' Up! Website, right? It's there. There's a little category for it. But as soon as they knew that the company had closed and now there was this void that people needed scrapbooking stuff, because when I first started almost 13 years now, Stampin' Up! Was just kind of getting out of the big 12 by 12 scrapbooking. They used to have some stuff, but it was slowly pilfering away. And I think because they did so many things, Close to My Heart just did scrapbooking. So now there's the void again. Now where's the scrapbooking? So Stampin' Up! Has really scrambled to get this going. And so Demonstrators got to see a video this morning with information on it. And there is a bunch of stuff that they have got planned. And I will tell you about it another time because we want to make this card. But the 4th of September, the first bunch of stuff is coming out. It's just a small release. It's the first bunch. The next, there's January and then the annual catalog, and then some fun stuff coming in the summer. So that's all down the road. But and more paper, more cardstock options. Like these are going to be awesome, not just for scrapbooking, but just in general for some of the stuff they're coming out with. So two of the things in September, though, one of them is Reindeer Fun, and the other one is this. I looked for the stamp set because that's easier to read the name off of. This Snowy Scenes, which that I can't remember what it is. But anyways, these two sets are going to have some like scrapbook accompaniment to them. So using these minis, they're going to have stuff with them. So if you like to scrapbook, these are two of the things. So I would say these two stamp sets and die sets and the stuff that goes with them. I think a lot of them are going to go, there's going to be a run on them as soon as the scrapbooking stuff that goes with them is announced. But this is a definite must have. It's got so many cute things to go with it. Okay. So I decided I'm just going to take that paper and I'm going to make this card again. So I already cut the paper because boring to watch me just cut paper, but I wanted to show you a couple things. So I'm going to do this. I'll post this afterwards. You know, my big fancy, I'm just going to give this a name. I'm going to call it the Patchwork as soon as I remember how to spell. It's Patchwork Scraps card. And I'm going to write, what is today? I already forgot again. 20th of August on it. There. So if you wanted to, okay, I will post it afterwards, but see where it says 3 9/16? It originally said 3.5, and I found old notes for it. But when I measured my actual card, it is 3 9/16. So that is like 1/16. That is just a bit more than 3.5. And the reason is, I think, has to do with the spacing, right? Like if you added these pieces together, they would add up to 3.5. But because you put this little line in between, like this little gap in between, you need to make this just that little bit wider. I also think that depending on how you space it and how perfectly straight you cut your lines, which is not necessarily my specialty, if this is a little bit longer and then you trim it afterwards, that's fine too. So these are the measurements. They're very easy. I never thought to put them out ahead of time, but so this is the order. And then I'm also going to show you how to make the card this way. But I'm going to show you a couple things. So I will post this afterwards so you can see the sizes. So you notice this card is white, right? And it works just like DSP on white. It worked quite well. And I think it's because these are darker colors. Because my original thought, move some of my stuff out of the way, was I was going to take my Snow Fun. And because they pretty much all had pool party backgrounds, right? And I thought, this is going to work. And it does. But it wasn't, it's a little too white. It was a little too pale for what I was going for. I mean, it works and it would work just fine. But I was trying to get a little, bolder. So I thought, well, here, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it on, and I will tell you, pick easier paper than I did, but just know that if you're going to do this, like I cut chunks off this paper. Normally you would just use scraps, but in this case, I cut chunks deliberately big enough to fit in the pieces I wanted. So that's why I have so many scraps now, because I was cutting little pieces. But yes, I purposely made sure that I had a perfectly nice penguin. This guy got a little bit trimmed, but I made it work. And then, but patterns like this, where like these ones on here, where you just need a chunk, right? This one I very specifically cut so I could have the trees. This was, like I said, the holly and the snowflakes were the easy ones. So you can do it on colored cardstock. And I think it would work. So then I did this, right? But this all just was a little too much. It all blended too much. Like there was no distinction around the cardstock or the little pieces. So then I decided, well, let's go with darker cardstock then. So I did it on here. And here's the thing. Every one of these versions works. You will see that version number 4 is the one I like best. But I'm telling you, every one of these versions works. It all just depends what look you're going for. And I should show you what the final result looks like, because then you would see. Now I really liked this, like the dark green background with the pool party. Loved the way that the pieces popped against it. But then my decoration was these holly leaves, which are from, I'm trying to put it down without knocking everything everywhere, which are from here, the reindeer fun. It's one big die here, and then there's a little berry die. So these are like 2 pieces. It's so good to not have a whole bunch of little pieces you got to deal with. It's like 2 die cuts. So that's the one I wanted. But as soon as I put that on, now it was too green on green. I do have, this is the other part here, I do have the word Merry Christmas to go as a sentiment. So then one of the other cards I had already prepped was to show you that you can also do this with like a layer underneath them. So then I thought, okay, maybe I need to do it with a layer. So then I took a white layer. I'm quite liking the white layer as the go-to. Like normally whites, on the inside, or you don't see it, but I like the way the white trim looks. So then I decided to go this way. So that when I put this on, I did have to maneuver a little bit to get it because the Merry Christmas is very long. But this Merry Christmas comes from that reindeer set. And I love the font. Okay, so these are slightly crooked, but ta-da! So that's what I went with. Now, I'm going to show you just really quickly. Oh, I also have this. Look at these. I took the stamps out of the same reindeer set and I made, so this is for the inside of the darker cardstock and then the envelope. Seriously, love these hollies. Love them. Okay, I'm going to show you. So this, I did the same thing. This other one, it was like first try. Because I just took a piece of white cardstock. I cut the same paper, but it's like slightly different images on it. The houses fit better on this one. I could only get a little bit here. This one didn't matter which direction I went, or that one. This one I had to trim a bit of the snow globe off, but I made it work. So this is the other one. This is white with a green layer. Where'd my picture go? And all I did was take the layout and turn it this way. So you just, the trick is pay attention when you're cutting to the first measurement, like on here, the first measurement is how wide it is and then how tall it is. So when you turn it this way, you have to flip your measurements. So this is like 1 inch by 2 inches, so that if you're cutting directional pieces, you cut them in the right direction. But look at how cute that one is. Those are also not taped out because I'm going to show you something. So here is the key to this card, I think. I'm going to, and I guess you could put ribbon on it if you wanted to. I'm going to leave this on here. Just because if I put the white straight on the table, you'll never see it because it'll blend right into the table. Okay, so here's what you need to do. I've already done the dry fitting. So if you're making this card, that's what you want to do, right? You want to take all your pieces, and partially you want to do it for pattern as well. Like cut your pieces you think you want to use, and before you glue anything, lay them all out. Make sure you figured out your spacing. Make sure you didn't cut anything wrong. And then if something looks weird, like if I had put, oh, there's a good example. Of course, I put adhesive on this thing, so let me just put it down now before I accidentally stick it to something. So what I'm doing with this one is, because I know what size it is, I'm putting it down first. It's one of the biggest pieces, and I'm just making sure I have an even border around it. Okay, so in the picture, I'll show you what I mean by the dry fitting. In the picture, this is actually how this goes, right? This is how the original picture was. Big, big, small. But if I do that, then I have lots of blue scenery and then the 2 things down here. And I wanted more variety of that. It would have worked. I guess it works this way too. Which one looks better? Right? Actually, I do like that better now that I do it. But I just knew that I had to switch these 2 pieces. Like originally it was those 2. So make sure you know which order you want to put your pieces in. So then I'm going to slide those off because now I know I like that order. Start with your 2 biggest. I don't glue this layer down yet. It's just sitting on top like I said, so you can see it. Start with your 2 biggest pieces, one going in each direction. If we want to go old school math, we need x-axis and y-axis. You need your vertical and your horizontal. I guess that's a good way to put it too. And do the same thing. Get the even spacing. Because once you square these two up, hopefully get them straight. There we go. They're the two biggest ones, right? My two squares are now done. Now when I do it, I'm going to work my way around. So each time I'm basically splitting the difference, right? So I've got these ones lined up. I have a nice even border on two sides, plus an even over here. Then I'm going to put this one in. I got to flip it upside down so my hand's not in the way. I want to hold this. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm squaring it up. I'm lining up the corner there and the corner there, and I'm getting a nice even spacing there. I can put that one down. I'm doing this one last on purpose because this is how I find that it's really hard, especially on little pieces. Little pieces move more. It's really hard to get everything exactly the way you want it. And so if things shift a little bit, this gives you the most options to kind of fix your spacing. So that I'm making this one, because if your spacing is off on the really obvious places, super noticeable, right? So this is where I got a bit of a gap there, bigger than I wanted, but I'll have to live with it. So this is where, like the edges, you'll notice if one's way out of whack, and you'll notice if like one border is like really weird. The inside stuff you're not going to notice as much because I'm going to disguise some of it, and you can change your plan on where you put these two things. If you have something to hide. But it's easy enough to fix the gaps or balance out something or cover a mistake, or let's say you drop your ink pad on your card. I've done that more than once. So I've got all my pieces. So I started here, went here, down here, and each time I'm making sure the outside border is good, and I'm trying to space this as even as possible. Now this one, with whatever's left, I did pretty good this time. I'm splitting the difference because now it looks intentional. If I had put this one and then this one and then this one, if I kept the same spacing, I would have a much bigger gap here and it would be really obvious, which I would then cover with the sentiment. But nonetheless, so that's I find the easiest way to get them on. I love the way this looks. Just love it. Okay, now I'm gonna tape this down because I didn't have any mishaps. I like to have the option of being able to pull them back up or fix them, and it's easier to do that when it's not attached to the card base. And if you were going to put ribbon on here, like tie ribbon around it all or twine, you would want to do that at this point. And then if it's ribbon, you're probably going to want to pop this layer up. I'm going to pop these layers up. But yeah, you want to pop the layers up because the ribbon won't let it lay flat otherwise. Twine you can probably get away with. Ribbons be a little thick. Oh, I love this card. Okay, so where did I originally? So this was the trick, right? This is a bit long, but I like how it kind of hangs off and has a little bit of a point. The point goes with, I'm missing a dimensional on here, just a sec. The point goes with the pointy holly, if you ask me. Rascal. Not sure what he thinks he heard, but let's not have the bark fest that we usually have when he thinks somebody has the nerve. Good boy. To come in our orbit. So this was the trick to this one. This is how I wanted to do it, but I was trying not to bury everything. And the Merry Christmas that I wanted to use just turned out to be a little bit longer. So just don't remember how I had that fitting before. See, and so when I did that the last time, there we go. I had the house down here. Now I'm covering too much of his hat. I don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to put the sentiment on first because it's got to be straight and it's got to be not hanging over the edge of the card. And then I'll fuss again with the with the holly. But I'm using it kind of as a template to where I want it to go, just so I can put this in the right spot. There we go. And then I'm going to stick the holly down. So yeah, I don't think there's a crafter alive, paper crafter, who doesn't have DSP and scraps. So this is just a really good way. I mean, I used, like I said, a brand new package. It also works for, I have paper, but no stamps or dies. Look at that. It's so cute. But yeah, it's a great way to use up all those little bits and pieces that are left over. And fear not, we all make mistakes. That was me, and I realized how far from the edge my holly was, and I was like, no, I don't like that. And then funny enough, I decided to put it in the center instead. But to me, this was not in the center and too far from the corner. So paper has two sides. Flip it over, do it again. And now sometimes you couldn't get away with that because that's a very dark shaded spruce there. But because this is going on a dark background, you won't even notice. So there we go. That's one of my cards. Move that out of the way. And then this one is the same, but like I said, all I did was change the orientation. But it's the same theory, and because we have a little bit of time, I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, this one. The one thing I will caution against is if you're doing this, where'd my piece of paper go? My card base. If you're doing this and you want to put them on a white card base, just make sure you're not using really white DSP. Like really white DSP would work. I could flip it over and put it on. Oops. On this layer. I could put it on this one, but it's too white, I think, to put on a white card base. Especially if you're not putting a layer. If you're putting a layer, you can probably do whatever you want. But if you're just going for quick and easy, and I mean quick and easy is fine. Look at how nice this card is. I love it. I saved it. I love it. But yeah, if you're going quick and easy, that's fine. But if you're gonna if you're doing white, just maybe pick your colors accordingly. Okay. So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to see. Usually when I do this, I have to trim the card at the end because I've made it something a little wonky. And so I was going to show you that how you do it, and then you can do that. But then I didn't. Then I made the last one, and I did it right. So I was like, well, so we'll see if I do any better on this one, because it just is. That's a bit of a gap there. Let's see how that works out. I gotta remember what I did. I think I had it like this. Oh no, maybe that is gonna work. Sometimes you have to trim your pieces too. So this is why we're gonna do it again. Just to see, I knew one of my pieces was like a tight squeeze. Okay, so I did the same thing again. No, I do like it better this way. I did it again. I put down my first two, the two biggest ones. And I made sure, it's harder to see on the green, but I made sure that I had an even border. Now I'm going to go over here to this corner. What I did, there we go. This is an interesting pack of paper because the other color that's in it and is quite prominent in it is petal pink. And petal pink is just one of those colors. Look how cute those trees are though, upside down and all. It's just one of those colors that it seems to change color depending on what it's near. That's what I find. Okay, so when I did my dry fit, for whatever reason, this one it seems to have like bigger gaps between them. When I do my dry fit, this one is sticking over, right? So at this point, before I glue all the pieces down, so now that I got these three pieces adhered, so they're not moving, that's my best time to try again and make sure. So I can see when I'm doing this that I have just like I'm a 30-second away on this one piece, but this is already a small piece. So this is the one I'm going to want to trim. So I'm going to take out my trusty little guillotine that, yes, I took the guard off of, because you have to take the guard off of if you want to be able to do this kind of fine work. And I'm going to take off 1 30-second. Can you see that? A sliver of paper is what I'm going to take off. Start small. I can always make a second cut if I didn't take off enough. But if I cut off too much, now I got to go grab out my pack of DSP and start over. There we go. I'm liking it. So yeah, the other thing I do, and I said I was fully expecting it to happen on one of these two cards. Somehow the crafting gods are with me today, I guess. is sometimes by the time I get my layer done, I will notice that I have, because I start in one corner and work over, I will notice that the one side or the top might have extra, and that's fine. That's the reason I don't stick this layer down yet, is so that if I have to, I can put this in my little thing and trim off a layer if I need to. So I just put glue on the wrong side of that. And yeah, if I had put the tear and tape or the seal on the wrong side, this would not work to just flip the paper over, because one, it's the wrong orientation, and two, it's houses by houses, and that wouldn't have worked. So make sure you look at all the sides and plan it all out and figure it all out before you start putting glue on things. And then yeah, don't glue the wrong side. It's that simple. So there we go. I got my little patchwork sideways now. Excuse me. What I just realized. I stamped on this envelope as well. I put all the stamps. I forgot to stamp. This card's white, so I didn't make a layer. So I didn't. So now I got to get my stamps out to stamp the inside. I'll do that in a minute. So this one, same thing. I start in one corner, and I make sure that I have at least even. Like I start this way to make sure it's even, and then I look to make sure it's even on this one, and then if two corners are even, the top falls into line. And then I've already forgot where I had this. I think I had this a little bit higher. This one, it works much better. The holly wasn't in the way of as much. See, like if I center it, well, actually that doesn't look too bad, because I can see bits on this one. Funny, and it's just pickiness, but I'll give you the details as I go, because that's how I roll. I wanted to put this a little bit lower, but if I put it lower, it covered this line, and somehow it looked like I was like hiding the line. I don't know. I didn't like that it covered that line. You couldn't see any of that line at all. On this one, I'm okay with it because I can see the edge of the line here. So I can see all the gaps. I just can't see this chunk. So this one I'm okay with putting this right over top of the thing, which would also work if you had missed your spacing or cut a piece really short or something, and there was like too big of a gap, then yeah. And I don't know, it's all personal taste. I don't know why putting it on that other one, why I didn't like it. But so this one is good. I'm not covering too much of the house. I'm not covering too much of the snow globe. There we go. And then we're just going to put our holly over top. Now you could crack out a ton of these cards. If you took, like, if you needed to, you could just take a new piece of DSP and say, okay, I'm doing this layout for all of them, and just start cutting them. And you would have, oh, I gotta say, you probably get, this is the biggest piece. This is 1.5 by 4. So 4, 8, 12. And 1.5, you can do 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 4, 8. 8 times 3. You would get 24 of these pieces out of one sheet of DSP. So you could make at least 24 cards with a half a pack of DSP. And you'd have leftovers. Like, you wouldn't use all of the other patterns. I do think if it works out, I can't remember if any of these did. If it works out, it could be that you use like both sides of the same piece, like the houses and the candy canes. I don't think I used both sides. I think I used 5 or 6 different pieces. See, this one's a great pattern that would have worked too. But yeah, I think I used like the one side of each piece. I must have used double of one of them, because no, I don't think I did actually. Well, whatever. I got lots of, oh no, that's the one I did. So the one with the little snow globes is also the snowflakes. So depending on your paper, you might be able to just use like 3 sheets of paper and flip them over. But my point is, you can make a whole lot of cards with using this. And look at how Christmassy they are. I'm so into Christmas right now because I started watching the Christmas movies in July. I started planning Christmas classes. I started buying the Christmas items. I got ready for Christmas extravaganza. So I'm like totally in Christmas mode. But there we go. There's my 2 new cards for this week. And what did I do with them? There he is. Like I said, I will post my little measurement sheet. And I'm just gonna, because before I forget, I am going to use the holly from here. Where did I use the holly from? Oh, you know what? Well, it's a good thing I discovered that before too long, because I thought I did. I thought the holly stamp was in the reindeer bundle. The holly stamp is not in the reindeer bundle. The one I used is in the ornament bundle, right there. Okay, so as it turns out, I used 3 different stamp sets then to make this card, or 3 different bundles, I guess. 2 stamp sets and a die, and a different and a totally different thing of paper. So yeah, you could use less. You could coordinate them up, match them up, and use less. You don't have to use as many different things as I did to make it work. I'm just gonna stamp the inside. So yeah, this paper is the colors on it are Garden Green, Poppy Parade, Petal Pink, Pool Party. I'm gonna say Crushed Curry for the yellow. And am I missing something? Oh, nope, it's Daffodil Delight. Early Espresso. Oh yeah, I guess the pink one. Garden Green, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Pop Parade, and there's some pumpkin pie. I wasn't sure if that was just a shade of the other one. So you got lots of fun colors in here, nice bright Christmassy colors. And boom, decorated up. And even though I did pre-cut my paper, it really didn't take that much longer. I just knew I wanted to, and I wanted certain patterns, so I wasn't going to make you sit there and watch me cut paper. But look at these cards. Adorable. So yes, patchwork. What did I call it? Patchwork scraps card. And I will post this stuff. I'm going to post some more stuff to do with classes as I get them, samples as I get them. And don't forget, because I made an order for somebody last night and I totally forgot until she asked me. Don't forget to use your coupons. See, I used mine on like day 1. I could use them when I was doing my pre-order. I used all my coupons. And then I as much as I keep reminding, I totally forgot. But yeah, use your coupons. So DSP is still on sale. These don't have to be Christmas cards. There's DSP on sale right now. And you can get 15% off, I think it is. So a $17 pack is $14.55 plus shipping and tax. But yeah, get some everyday paper and make birthday cards out of them. Like they're just so much fun, and you can have so much fun with them, or use all the scraps you've already got. So yeah, coupons, DSP, classes, catalogs are out. Let me know if you don't get yours within like a week or so. I think that's all. It was a fun Tuesday. Thanks for joining me. I'm trying to remember if it's 8 o'clock here, that must mean it's 10 o'clock in Ottawa. So it must be close to bedtime. So good night, Heather. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to register for the classes, just wherever you see a poster, you should be able to click on that poster. It'll take you to the link for the registration. And I will just keep posting them as I get them done. Because I'm going to clean up my desk and I'm going to go right back to finishing the card I started that I didn't quite finish. And here, I'll give you a sneak peek. This is the old card I made. Love this card. Love this entire suite. I'm making a Christmas card based on this. So I'm going to go back and finish that. And then one more card and I'll have this. I'll have the 11th of September cards ready to show you and get that link and everything all ready to go. So have a great week, everybody. There'll be more fun to come. Take care. Thanks. Good night.